What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome. What's going on? Let me pull up chat here real quick. Morning, morning, morning. How are you doing today? How's everybody doing? Even though there's just one, I appreciate the one viewer all as always. Right now, just getting started off with the day. Just got back from the gym. Feeling pretty good. Even though it's gonna be a pretty long day. Work second shift today, but also gonna try to get some streaming in today. Yeah, so just chatting, having conversations. I'm watching a podcast as we speak. If you guys haven't already, I highly recommend good content to watch is Patrick Bet-David. Patrick Bet-David's podcast and Valuetainment on YouTube. Great guys, stand for a lot of good things, and always are in tune with what's going on. So I pay attention to them a lot. I watch their podcast a lot, and PBD has always good stuff to say. Always plays the game fairly when it comes to talking about politics. I'm not going to get too much into politics because I don't want to do that. I don't want to bring that up on social media. There's already enough talk about that. But just having conversations, whether with people that he disagrees with or he does agree with, it's such good content to watch, and I highly recommend it. I'm watching one of the newest podcasts. They're actually live right now, and it's talking about Diddy's verdict, the big beautiful bill, what's happening over in Israel, and stuff like that. So yeah, it might be a little too much for live streaming, but this is what I do. I stay in tune with what's going on. I watch podcasts. I watch independent podcasts and independent platforms that want to have the conversation, and it's not biased. It's not towards one side. It's talking about all of the issues and it's talking about everything without a biased perspective, and that's what I like about it. So I'm not sure if I can even go on here and like even show his podcast. I don't even know. Well, what I could do. Get rid of chat. Yeah. That's crazy. I'm not even sure if I can show it. I don't even know if I can show his podcast on here. I don't want to get copyrighted or low key. I mean, I don't care personally. It's not like I'm trying to make money off of his own content, but I'm just like, I want to put, even though he don't need my help to market and everything, they're already making a killing on YouTube and doing great on social media. But me wanting to spread the word about what he stands for and what his show is all about, that's what I like. I like promoting good content. That's always been one question I've always had. And the one question I have is, when it comes to going viral, when it comes to blowing up on social media, why do I see anything that goes viral? To me, it has no meaning. Like, what's the benefit of streamers going viral if all they're gonna do is just do stupid crap? You're gonna get kids and people that follow you to go do those stupid things if you do those stupid things and you film it. Or even just do things that are pointless. Like, Like all these pranks all those pranks that they were doing at the AMP house. When I was watching streamers for a little while, and I'm just like, what's the whole point of doing this? All you're doing is basically going viral over the stupid things that you do, which makes no sense to me. Like, you blew up a brand new house that you just bought. That makes no sense. I get it for the ones who, do make content, and they make content to the fullest extent, which means they don't care what they do to make content or to go viral. They'll do it. And I'm not that type of person to do that, but I know for a fact that there are a lot of people out here that will absolutely do anything and everything to go viral or to be famous. I'm like, I'm not that. I'm not trying to sell my soul. I'm not trying to sell my soul. Now, mind you, people can feel a certain type of way when I say that, but your soul's not for sale. And no amount of money is going to buy you your happiness, is going to buy you your freedom. Freedom ain't free. So, that's what I got to say about that. But, they talk about, and what I mean, there's a lot of things where I don't understand how things that actually, people that post content that actually makes sense, that's actually meaningful, that's actually valuable, that's actually going to give someone value, they don't go viral. But then like the pointless dumb crap blows up on social. I don't understand that personally. And I'm not saying that the people that do go viral, they shouldn't. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the fact of, what content are we making that's going to be meaningful to people, that is going to blow up, that is going to get a lot of eyeballs, that is going to get a lot of exposure? Because most of the time what I see that goes viral is all stupid. It's when I go doom scrolling through TikTok or even through Instagram Reels, sometimes it gets pretty wild. Like, it's probably some of the most useless and dumb stuff that come up on my feed, and it's literally just because it went viral. And I'm like, I don't understand how something can go viral but has no meaning or no value to it. I don't understand that. So I've always been trying to figure out, like, how do you blow up on social media? How do you go viral without posting useless content? Like, to me, there's some things, again, like I said, like, there's some things that have gone viral and I'm like, how did this go viral? I really want to, unless if you're just dumping a tons of money into ads and promotions for ads and stuff like that to get more exposure on your content, I get that. But that's basic marketing. That's basic marketing of investing into a business that you own. Like, if you have your own channel, if you have your own, YouTube or even even streamers, they know that they have to set everything up for marketing so they can get the views. I'm not particularly worried about views. I'm not particularly worried about it. But I know for a fact that if you want to get your point across, you want to get your message out there, you gotta invest, and that's what I've been doing that. Now, mind you, it's probably not, maybe it's not $1,200, just dumping into advertisements. I don't have the money to do that, but like substantially putting some money and investing a little bit into ads and getting the word out there. It's worked, but you have to be not just consistent with it, but also the more and more you start posting, and the more you start posting with ads and promotions, the more money that needs to be invested into that so you can actually grow and scale. That's the difference. But like, I see all these things I see all this stuff on social media, TikTok, whether if it's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, even sometimes like on Snapchat or even other social media platforms, it gets to a point where with what goes viral, what meaning does it have, and what value does it bring to people? Because that's what I always pay attention to, is that how am I going to bring value into this certain aspect, like of what I'm investing in. Is there going to be an ROI? Is there going to be a return on investment? That's what I worry about. And then also, there's so much going on with, government and all that. People people are so confused that, and people are so, unaware of what's going on, that we can't even come together. Like, it's so like, now mind you, I have my own certain opinions about this, because there's a certain extent to where some things that we've done as a country have worked, and you know and have worked in the past. But we're in a new age now, where it's like, this is a new age of technology. This is a new age of lifestyle for a lot of people, because a lot of things have happened. A lot of things have happened over the years. Oh, it's thick protein shake. God, drinking a protein shake, drinking some coffee. Okay, so now I don't know if you guys can hear that, but um, I think they're talking about excuse me. But guys, make sure you guys leave a follow, and make sure you guys subscribe down to the YouTube channel. Links will be in the description as well. Also, check down below. Go follow me on socials. I got an Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I don't use Twitter as much, but I'm very much on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. So go check that out. Ask me Kev on all socials. Go check it out. And then also, we're soon going to be start filming episodes for a podcast. I gotta get some. I gotta get some stuff laid out and set in stone before I start filming. But once I start filming it, I think it's gonna be good. I want it to be an actual. I want I want this podcast to be something that we can have conversations, and not and have respectful debates, and being able to understand that we need to be in tune with what's going on. Excuse me. And make sure that we are aware of what's going on at all times, because we live in this country. If you live in this country, in any state, wherever you are, I don't care, and no matter what record of status you are, it doesn't matter. You should always be in tune with what's going on and know what's going on in your own government. Yes, you might not trust them, but you got to know you have to know your opponent's move, so you can be able to deflect it. It's the same thing. So, oh man. All right, give me a second, guys. I got a phone call real quick. All right, my bad, y'all. Sorry, I probably just lost a whole bunch of people. My bad. Um. Oh, hi, Eva. Nice to meet you. I'm Kevin. Um. Yeah, I'm sorry. My mic was off. I had a business call. Sorry. I didn't realize that that was gonna be happening as I was gonna be still on stream. Sorry about that. But what's going on? So yeah, I'm sorry. I know my mic was off. I was on the phone. I didn't want to be. I wasn't trying to be rude, but I also didn't want to just leave the phone call hanging. But yeah. But yeah. In fact. Oh man. Oh, thanks for the follow. Sorry, that took me a minute to look at that. But yeah, I appreciate the follow for sure. And not only that, yeah, I've been trying to just make better decisions on investing in myself and all that stuff. That was one key reason why I needed to take that business call because I'm tired of I'm tired of working too hard. And I'm not saying like I mean that like I'm tired of working so hard that I don't get paid enough. Now, mind you, it's all about the work that you put in. So depending on how much work you put in is depending on how much reward you're going to get out of it. But sometimes you have to do things based off of decisions for yourself, not for others, because you got to focus on yourself. At the end of the day, you got to focus on yourself. Focus on self. And then there's some things where it's like, I want to make the right decisions. I want to make the right investments. It's just that that is actually what's been a huge, you know, hindrance, I would think, of why I do things is because, I have a really a hard time with trusting people. But I mean, it's only because I've had people do me so wrong, and I keep pushing forward. And I'm not saying that to make. I'm not trying to say that to, get the attention. I hate that crap when people do that. But I'm just saying, like, when you know yourself enough to the point of you understand what your capabilities are, what you stand for, um, how much work and effort you put in, start doing things just to benefit you. You know. So that's what I did. I started doing that a long time ago. It's just been slow, and you're gonna have slow periods, and you're gonna have slow periods in time, like every single time. You're gonna have those slow moments where it's like, dang, I feel like I'm going nowhere, but I'm putting so much work in, and sometimes that's how it is. Sometimes, but it's a matter of, are you gonna stop, or are you gonna keep going? In business, that's how it is. Are you gonna keep going even when things get tough, or are you gonna quit and buckle under the pressure? Because being in business is a cutthroat industry, and business could be anything. It could be streaming. It could be social media content. Whatever the case. Anything in business, it's a cutthroat industry. So you have to be able to make sure that you last, because all these guys that see, this is what I tell people. The same thing what I got told as a fresh entrepreneur. Always be learning, and it's not about how much you have or how much money you make. It's about how long you last in the market, because the market will dictate how long you will stay. Because the market will speak, definitely. And if the market doesn't like what you're bringing in, that's just how it is. You can't you gotta deal with the cards that you dealt with, and most of the time, it's hard to do that. But like, it's to a point now where now I need to start doing things for myself. I need to start, making decisions where it's like it might not feel good right then and there, but it's gonna be good because it's gonna be really, really interesting of where things are gonna go within this next couple years. Because a lot of things have changed since what we've been used to, quote unquote, I guess. You know, high inflation, wages not really doing anything, people still living paycheck to paycheck, things are getting worse and worse, things are getting more expensive. And I mean, I'm just like, you gotta work with what you have. Sometimes that's making sacrifices. um what's so funny is that, you know that's really the hardest part. Hmm. And it's just like, I hope, I hope. But yeah, it's interesting. Excuse me. Wild. I'm really kind of wondering, how do I, of course, being consistent on being consistent is how you're gonna get exposure when it comes to, you know, posting content, going live, all that stuff. But it's like, how do you really, what do people really want to watch when they tune into a stream or tune into a video or just any piece of content? What do they look for in a piece of content that they want to watch for them to stay? You know what I mean? And I'm like, I could sit here and talk all day and just talk to nobody or just talk to just one person. I have no problem with doing that. But like, I want to have the conversations. I want to have, I want to have ideas thrown out there of what I think about stuff. Everybody that anybody that has an opinion, that has a thought or idea about something, their opinion matters on it, and everybody should be able to be heard. I don't know how that wouldn't make sense, right? But having those conversations, asking those questions about what other people think, because you never know, you might learn something from another person's perspective. It's a little odd to hear nowadays, right? Because everybody likes to think that they're always right or their truth is the truth. It's like, no, there's only one truth and one truth only. And I'm not gonna get into it, but we already know what it is. Crazy, crazy stuff. And it's just I do a lot of stuff on the back end where it's like, man, I don't even know if I'll be able to have time. Hmm. And hopefully get some stuff moving forward when it comes to starting a podcast. I've been wanting to try to start a podcast. I kind of did that when I was doing when I first started my YouTube channel. I did devotions, daily devotions, and it was cool. I like doing it. I love doing it. I just love being busy, and I love prepping, and I love planning for making content. It's just with the way that I feel about religion now today that's probably not going to be the area that I'll be diving into, honestly, because I have my certain opinions about the idea of religion. So, but my what I really want to do on a podcast is be real as possible. Don't do no censorship. Don't do none of that censoring nobody. You are freely to talk about what you want to talk about, but also be respectful. And we can have a debate. We can disagree on things, but that doesn't mean that we got to be disrespectful to each other. We can still have a conversation. We can still disagree and still have a conversation and not be disrespectful. That's what adults do. I want people to be able to freely think for themselves. That's what you're supposed to do as an individual, is to freely think for yourself. That's the whole point of also, and it's a great segue into personal development. And I'm all about personal development. That's also what I want the podcast to be, is about personal development, and and then also bringing awareness to the autism community. I have a learning disability. I'm a productive member of society that pays taxes, that has a full-time job, that's able to drive, and that's able to learn new things every single day with having a learning disability. Now, mind you, my way of thinking about my disability is I don't suffer from it. I just have it, and it doesn't define who I am. My disability does not define who I am, but it is a part of me that I cannot get rid of, and I can't just disregard that I have it. So, me acknowledging that, I feel like my story could be a huge, could have a huge impact. I just getting involved with the communities and getting involved with people that don't know you, that don't trust you, or don't even know what you're about. That's kind of like where I'm at right now. Trying to just figure out strategies, and that's why I had that phone call. That phone call was supposed to help me expand and scale on the things that I want to do. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm hoping that this decision and investment that I've just made wasn't all for a waste. And at this point, I don't know. I might just have to work over just doubles this week and just not have days off. I'm gonna be honest, because it's to a certain point where it's like I want to be at the point of, I don't want to be famous for trying to sell something to somebody that's not gonna ever work. I don't like the idea of selling, because once you try to sell something, you're either going to sell something that everybody's going to use and you're going to solve someone's problem, or you're going to sell something that only you benefit from and you just want people to buy it with using clickbait. If I'm going to create something, a service, a product, or whatever the case may be, I want it to bring value, and I want it to bring meaningfulness to a person. I want a person to benefit from what they're watching or what they're investing into, because that's the whole point of selling, and especially if you're selling a product, that's the whole point, is to make money and make sure that it's useful to the person that's buying it, to your audience that's wanting to buy it, right? So right now my position is I am an autism advocate. I'm a very, of course, and I'm Gen Z too, which is going to be hard for a lot of people to hear this, but I'm probably the most conservative Gen Z that you'll ever meet. And I mean that as in, I stand on values and principles that nothing of what society tells me is going to have me drift away from that. Because I know who I am. I know where I'm going when my time is done here. Now I just want to fill the times between that from the time in between that, from now until then, I want to be able to fill my time with being as productive as possible, establishing good, caring, trustful, strong relationships, and also being able to work as hard as I do and still make time for the things that I want to do. And that doesn't come without sacrifice. So 100%, I'm really just leaning towards more. I'm gonna keep doing my thing on social media, keep doing my thing on YouTube. The channel's gonna keep going on. The vlogs are gonna keep coming. There might be a podcast that might come soon. Who knows? But I'm gonna get a lot more involved with the community here where I'm at in Alabama. I'm gonna get more involved with going to events and stuff like that. You know, getting involved with more community, and you know, we'll see how it goes. But if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys leave a like. Make sure you guys leave a comment. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe down to the channel, YouTube, AskBkev, Twitch, AskBkev, and follow me on socials, AskBkev on all socials as well. To give a little piece of, there you guys go. Go subscribe down to it. It's crazy. I got some videos on there. And I did all that editing myself. I did all this editing right here all by myself. But it's not that great, but it is what it is. But I hope that you guys enjoyed today's stream. I'm sorry that was like 15-20 minutes of me having my mic off. I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize that phone call was going to be happening until it happened. So, but I'm glad I got it out of the way. I'm glad I was able to make the call, and I'm glad that someone had at least told me that my mic was off, which is like, I looked over and I'm like, oh crap, someone's actually talking. And I'm like, I was not trying to ignore people at all. I was not trying to at all. I was trying to get through the call as fast as I could. But we just had a lot of stuff to talk about. But I appreciate you guys. Hope that you guys enjoyed today's stream. Hope that you guys stay tuned for more as well. I'm going to start streaming on the days that I have off. This was just a day where I had extra time in the day before I go to work to go and go live and stream for a little bit. But I promise to make this more of a consistent thing on my days off for sure. And who knows, I might not even have days off now because of the stuff that I'm doing right now. But who knows, I'm going to still try to make time. I'm still going to try to put in the work and be consistent. So I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the viewers. The viewers that were here and the viewer that's still currently here. I appreciate all of you guys, for real. And just stay tuned for more content. I'm going to try to be as consistent as possible. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day. God bless y'all. We'll see y'all later.